Morning everybody, sorry I'm a couple minutes late. Welcome to another Facebook Live with Jeannie. I am very excited to share some cards with you this week. I'm sorry I missed last week. I have to say I was home, but I had worked a bunch of hours at the hospital and I was a tiny bit unmotivated. So I never did quite get live, but I have a fun stamp set for summer that I want to share with you. And if you are in my Paper Crafting with Jeannie's stamping group, on that page I posted a summer challenge. And in that summer challenge I said, fill this card box with summer cards. And this is, I don't even remember the name of the paper, to be perfectly honest. It's the artistic paper, and I really like this paper. Good morning. How are you guys? I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad you're joining me. I got this box template from Angie Judah, and I actually just this morning decided to tweak it a little bit. Oh my goodness, I hope I didn't cut up my piece of paper that I was supposed to be using. I think I might have. Where did I put that? Anyway, I'm going to tell you how to make the box, and I'm going to show you these fun cards that we are going to make. Yeah, I don't know where I put the box, but I didn't actually put this one together so I can show you. It looks like it's put together. It's not. So let me get right to the cards, and if you don't know what stamp set I'm using by me telling you about a little slice of summer, I am talking about the Cute Fruit stamp set. Now, if you guys have not seen this stamp set, I'm not surprised. It's in the beginner brochure, which you may or may not have seen. If you go to the customer website, there is an option of choosing things from the beginner brochure. Now, the fun thing about the beginner brochure is that not only do they have stamp sets that are easy for beginners to put together, but they actually have whole groups of products that you can put together so you get a nice easy order. I believe it's $59 if you get Stampin' spots and some note cards. No, actually it's Whisper white paper. The Cute Fruit stamp set, I may be missing something and I don't have the brochure right here with me. But it's a really adorable stamp set, and immediately I thought summer and I thought cool, and boy can we use cool right now. It's actually quite beautiful outside right now. I took the dogs for a walk this morning, which is why I'm a tiny bit late, but let's get right into these cards. So I used this paper because it's going to match the paper that I used a tiny bit. It's a tiny bit off. This is a bit pinker. This is more Melon Mambo than I had done. I used the Pretty Patterns. Is that the name of this paper? Playing with Patterns 6x6 paper. So that little 6x6 pack is full of 48 sheets, and it has tons, and I mean tons, of paper. One side is primarily Calypso Coral, the other side is maybe primarily Night of Navy, and then there's lots of crushed curry in there, there's lots of Bermuda Bay in there, and then there's a combination of all. So sometimes you've got dots, and sometimes you've got stripes, and you'll see that I used this. I concentrated primarily on the yellows and the Calypso Coral, but this is a really pretty purple, and there's a ribbon that matches this too. So I'm not concentrating on the Playing with Patterns stamp set or that bundle because I only have the paper and the ribbon. I wasn't a big fan of the stamp set, so I'm going to show you other stamp sets that you can use. So why don't I, without further ado, good morning. Thank you for sharing, Donna. You always are so good about sharing, and thank you, Sarah, for sharing last week too. I appreciate it. Oh, that was 2 weeks ago. Okay, I'm going to flip down. Now, my workspace, I have to say, is a little bit not as nice as it was because I've had some people that have expressed that when I flip down, it sounds a little hollow. And even though this is a card table that's a wood card table, I think it's kind of hollow and it's primarily metal underneath, so it echoes a tiny bit. If this doesn't fix it, I may have to figure out something else. It may be my workspace and there may be nothing I can do about it. So I have a priority mailbox here and a grid paper. I've got my pierce mat, which is a little bit messy, which I'm going to have here. And although I don't have any of the stamps here, I have an entire box of blocks ready to go. I have a couple of spots that we're going to use. I'm only going to make one card, even though, oh my, I should have, oh, I do have a memento. I actually am going to stamp the envelopes for the rest. So anyway, let's flip down. It's been so long, I almost forget how to do it. Okay, here we go. Sorry, don't get dizzy. So in the corner, right there, right here, is my July host code, and I'll put that on the thing. But don't forget it, bonus days are going on now. Until the end of the month, you get a $5 coupon for every $50. So if you get this whole little bundle, it's $59. You're going to get a $5 coupon that you can use in August. So let me move this way so you can see now. Shed some light on the subject, and let's start sharing these cards. I'm so excited about this. So this is the Cute Fruit stamp set. It was upside down for you before, so I want to show you now. There's a banana, there's a watermelon slice, there's a pineapple, and then there's some citrus slices. There are some really cute sentiments. You're one in a melon. Wishing you a slice of happiness. I couldn't ask for a sweeter friend, and smile. And then there are these adorable little faces here. One looks like he's just perfectly content. This one, you're going to see, I used it on the card. I may actually make this card today too. Little mustache, you're one in a melon. I used that for that card. And then there's a cute smile face that works well with the smile. So let me show you the cards. So this is my first card, and I made all of my cards the same. This is a 5.5 by 8.5 sheet of thick white cardstock that I scored at 4 1/4. My bottom mat, because I love to put a mat underneath my designer paper, especially if I'm tying it with ribbon, because it gives it some nice sturdy feel to it. That's 4 by 5 1/4, and then the designer paper is 3 3/4 by 5. So I went down 1/4 inch on each measurement there. This center, the Whisper White piece right here, is 3 by 4. Very easy to remember. I did put a mat under it. You would think that I would do 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, but it almost didn't leave room for the ribbon, and it was kind of too much paper cardstock there. So I actually cut it just like I did when I did the Memories and More cards, because the everything about flowers, or Flowers for Every Season, Memories and More, they had a little pre-printed rectangle on there. So, and when I had made those cards a couple of weeks ago, the cardstock was a sliver under 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and I found that that worked really well with this again. So I think this may be my new go-to thing. I made all of these cards the same, but isn't that adorable? You've got your smile. I maybe should have been a little bit lighter with my ink there, but I'd already finished the bananas. So each one has a little smiley face, even this little upside down guy. So just such a fun card to send to somebody in summer. So that's my first card, and I hope you guys are liking this. I can't see your comments anymore now that I'm flipped down, but here is another one that is primarily yellow. I think I put both of these on crushed curry. Actually, this one is bumblebee rather than crushed curry. I had a piece of bumblebee paper laying around, and I had already cut up all of my crushed curry. So that was bumblebee, but this is crushed curry, and I put that under one of the papers that I showed you in the variety pack of Playing with Patterns. You've got your pineapple base, and that's stamped. I actually stamped this in Daffodil Delight rather than crushed curry, and the reason I did was because I wanted to stick with the colors that were in the Stampin' spots, and I think that goes really well anyway. I probably could have done some brown in there. Maybe I could have sponged some brown on the yellow after I had finished inking up my stamp with yellow, but I didn't. This is stamped with garden green, and that was totally by accident because I had a garden green spot, but I did not have a shaded spruce one. But I think the shaded spruce for the watermelon and for the pineapple goes a little bit better. My cardstock base here is shaded spruce. But anyway, so that's my second card. Once again, I used the white ribbon just like I did on this card. And I'll be sharing these in my group and on the page for the next few days. wishing you a slice of happiness. All these citrus slices, how fun. I was thinking, okay, you've got your grapefruit. That's probably what it is. It's primarily grapefruit, I'm thinking, at least in this case. I could have done it orange, but I wanted to stick with the flirty flamingo, so that's what I did. Just randomly stamped all those and had fun. I think in the future, first of all, I would move that over because you know I'm not very good at random stamping. I'm very precise about it. I have a hard time just randomly stamping. But in the future, I would, there are both the circles and then the slices. I think I would do the circles first next time. It would have been a little bit easier. Nobody's going to look at this and say, oh, she didn't do a good job with that card. At least I hope so. But if you did want to get it a little bit more centered, I think I would start with the outside ring. I did that with the koalas last year too, with the Birthday Bonanza card. If you start with the details first and then the center, it sometimes matches up a little better. So that's another one, Whisper White Ribbon. This one, it's a little bit hard. This one, Wishing You a Slice of Happiness. Again, this is my watermelon slice. I've got a little bit of blank space here, and maybe I could put some black rhinestones or pearls here, and if there aren't any black, I could certainly color them black with my black blends. I wish there was a stamp for the seeds, because that would fill in some space, and I think that would be so cute too. So I've got my shaded spruce rind, and then I've got my watermelon, and then I colored in with the basic black blend. Oh dear, Minnie is down to see me, so hopefully that doesn't turn into trouble. She usually, hopefully she's going to be good. They haven't seen me for a few days, so I'm kind of, they are kind of hinged to me at the hip. So this is my 4th card, and this is my 5th card. And this is the one we're going to make today, and I really had a fun time with this one. You've got your smiley faces there. They're all so content, but then you've got this guy, and isn't that just so cute? Where you're one in a melon. So anyway, I was going to color in the seeds, but you know what? If I color in the seeds, I think it's going to confuse the faces, so I decided to just leave that alone. So even though I stamped with Flirty Flamingo, I think this cardstock, the designer paper, is actually more Calypso Coral. But to me, I like the color of this. So let's get to work making this card real quick, and then I'm going to show you the box, how to put the box together. So I got my Cute Fruit stamp set. Let me grab my glasses here. And I've got, like I said, my whole box of blocks here. And all I'm going to do is grab the slice, the watermelon slice. And we will do the rind. I'll do that on a bigger block because I want that to have plenty of room. And then once again, we're going to do the faces. So we're going to do the happy faces right there. And we're going to do our mustached friend, who is right here. And then, do I want to say Wishing You a Slice of Happiness? No, we're going to do You're One in a Melon again. So we'll do that there. Okay, so let me set this aside. Cute Fruit is the name of the stamp set. Adorable. Okay, let's put that over here. I've got my memento over here. Okay, here is my Whisper White cardstock. Like I said, 3 inches by 4 inches. Very standard. That's what I've done with all of them. It doesn't make it quite even top and bottom versus side to side, but it's even enough that I love it. So that's my go-to thing here. Okay, so I think I'm going to start first with my watermelon slices. So I've got my Flirty Flamingo, and if I was smart, I would have done what I had said a couple weeks ago I do with my spots. Not only do I stamp have the label in the top, I also have a circle in the bottom with the name so that I don't mix them up, because this would be really easy to mix up with Calypso Coral. But apparently, like I said, I didn't get to it. We'll do that. Let it sit and absorb into the paper for a second. It's okay. And this is, don't forget, also these spots are felt rather than the usual foam that we have. So it may take a little bit more. And I am spreading this out. It may take a little bit more ink or be harder to ink up this. That one's not bad. I would re-ink this one, but I'd never get it right. So we'll do that off to the side there. Ugh. You know what? Sorry. There we go. Okay, and then one more. One more over here, I guess, so I can put my face in. Okay, I spaced these a little bit more than I did on my first card because I realized that I was kind of running out of room because of the rind here. So, like I said, I don't have a spot for shaded spruce yet. So what I'm going to do is use my full-size pad and just kind of wrap it around. And it's not going to matter if it's not perfect. Believe it or not, I'm okay with it not being perfect. The other thing you guys should be amazed at is that I'm stamping sitting down, not laying down. That would be something. One more. I already got some ink on my thing. Hopefully I can overlap that with a little bit of the face. So let's see. Okay, we'll close that up. Now, there's that noise that I didn't want to make, sorry, but the rest of, until I get a piece of, I'm thinking foam board might cover that up, so I'm sorry about the loud noise there, the echo. Okay, now we're going to do Memento, and we'll do the one first because he's the one in the melon. Right there. And then we'll do these other guys. I kind of wish, boy, I wish I could, I'm going to make a mess of this. I know I am, but it does need more ink here. Okay, for this I have to stand up. Oh, a little better. Little better. Okay. Okay, the rest of my content little smiley faces we're going to stamp right there, right there, and this one, let's see if I can make it. I tried. Okay, so that's that, and then we're just going to stamp once more your one in a melon, and maybe we will put that one, since there is a little bit more room up here, we're going to put that up top. Okay, so there we have this 3 by 4 inches. I cut this, like I said, a sliver under 3 1/4. It's not really a sliver, it's a 1/16 of an inch under 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. I have some new Tombow glue because I was afraid that if I didn't have new, I might not get the glue out of it on camera because that usually happens. Okay, we got that. Like I said, I've got my thick Whisper White cardstock. And then I have my designer paper that I am going to attach. So this is 4 by 5 1/4, just 1/4 of an inch under. And see, I don't use a lot of glue. I just use a little bit, enough to stick. I'm going to put that there. And then I actually had a piece of green ribbon that I tied last night, which was, it's the Pretty Peacock Garden Green combo ribbon. And I think I decided to go with all one color, but I had already tied this, so we're going to just use this one right now. Yes, I know I cheated. Okay, we're going to put that over on this side because I'm going to kind of balance it out because I have the sentiment on this side. So, and then what I'm going to do is get my dimensionals, the ones I had, ended up on the floor, but so when I put my dimensionals on, I think I've said this before, I do use a fair amount of dimensionals, maybe not as many as some people. Actually, for this, I'm only going to use 5. I'm going to put one right in the center, and the only ones that really need to come off the backing if you don't want to do it. I leave that one on because there's no reason to have it off, because I've already held it in place. Oh dear. Now I've smeared probably because there was something on my finger. Okay, so pretend that this is a beautiful card. I'll have to remake it. And then we're going to add this to here. Yeah, there's some green on the back of the card, and then I got it on my finger. Okay, so we got that. So that's the card. So that's how you do it. Just don't get those marks on there like I did. Anyway, as my mom would say, ach Hayden. It's a Dutch saying for, I don't know what. Oh my goodness, or that shouldn't have happened is what it is for. Or that shouldn't be, I guess. When I had a headache this week, she said, ach Hayden. Okay, so I'm going to fix this card so that it's not quite so messy, but that's the idea. And then we've got our envelopes here. Don't forget, you don't want naked envelopes. So let's do a cute little, hopefully without any further ado, we're going to do a couple of envelopes here real quick. Yeah, I think I'm still echoing. Oh well, I'm sorry guys. Just can't figure out how to get rid of that. And I got my shaded spruce. This is what I get all over my hands again. Should know better. Minnie is intently watching down here while I'm doing this. She's at my feet. Wish you could see her. She's adorable. Okay, and then what I'm going to do with this one, because I can, unless I did want to put a face in. I do like those faces. That face was so adorable. So maybe I'm going to do the face real quick. The mustache guy. So cute. Okay, so that's that one. I actually have it that I can do it. I'm going to do a real one on the next envelope. This one, a real watermelon. It's going to be a little bit redder. So this one, the slice, I've got my real red ink spot. Do that here. And when you look at it, you can kind of see if I've got mostly ink here, and I think I do. I think I'm not too bad. And you hold it there for a second, let the ink absorb. Oh, look at that. Now that is how it's supposed to ink up. And it probably absorbs a little bit better than the Whisper White cardstock, which has a tiny bit of a finish on it. Okay, so let's do the rind again. In my very inky shaded spruce. Oh, that one isn't quite as perfect, but that's okay. Then we're going to take our basic black blend, and I'm just going to color it in just a tiny bit, because that's what that card had. It just had the black seeds. So we've got this one. No, we've got this one for this one. This one, wishing you a little slice of happiness. Like I said, I'm going to figure out something to put in there yet. It needs a little bit more something. Let's do the pineapple very quickly. And I didn't bring any, okay, where's the pineapple? Where's the stamp set? Right here. Maybe I'll have to figure out something different for my table, because it definitely does echo. I'm sorry about that, guys. Okay, my pineapple. This, and like I said, I used the Daffodil Delight on this. Not perfect, but it'll do. And then we're going to do the top, and because I don't have any other color here on the table, Granny Apple Green would probably be a very good color with this too. But we're going to do the shaded spruce again, since that's what I have. And notice I didn't cover up my Daffodil Delight yet because I'm going to do the banana yet really quick at the end. Beautiful. Love that. Okay, so that's card number 5. Oh, I'm getting green on there too. Can't take me anywhere when I'm around shaded spruce, I am telling you. Okay, last but not least, I could do the slices, but I'm also going to do the banana. Let me do the banana real quick because I really like those bananas. They're so fun. And I know what you guys are thinking. You said you were going to share about the box, and I am, and it's going to take you just a second to share about that. So, go like that. And then there is a little stem. I don't have any early espresso on the table, but there is a little stem that is part of the stamp set. So let's do the other smiley face on this to match our card. A little bit of memento. Okay, I'm not going to do the slices because I just dropped my stamp set on the floor. Okay, so there we go. We've got our 4 envelopes. So no naked envelopes. That's a first for me, by the way. And I have to do one more for this one once I pick up my stamp set. But let me show you just very quickly how to make this box, because I know you guys are anxious to see it. Move my mess out of the way. Put that together later. But this box is so super easy. Like I said, I got the idea from Angie Judah. I found it on Pinterest, and I'm just making a little tweak to it. So this base is actually made from the, you can see it right there. It's from the backing for the Whisper White, the designer paper. It's the Whisper White, the cardboard that goes up behind the designer paper. So this one takes up a little bit more room because they've gone into doing all of the different languages and the colors, etc. But anyway, let me just show you. I don't have this together. I just have it decorated. Look at this. Isn't this cheating? So here we've got the back for the cardboard. I put that on the inside. I made sure already where I was going to put my, which side. I only decorated one side because one's going to be on the inside, so it doesn't really matter. The only other place I think I'm going to put some adhesive is right there. So I've got my tear and tape here. We're going to put some adhesive there so that when I put my cards in, they're not going to get caught. Just put it just a little bit right there. Okay, so we got that. And then I'm going to put the adhesive also right here. Because this is going to be on the outside, so that'll hold the box together. I probably should, to be honest, put a tiny bit more, just a piece right there and a right there as well. Just a tiny bit. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. But so this piece is 10 inches by 12 inches. So you got your long piece and then you've got it 10 inches wide. On the portrait side, which means if you're looking at like a picture straight up and down, it would obviously, this is landscape, this is portrait. Portrait is the, you know, the tall side facing up. You're going to score each side at 2 inches. And I'll put this in the group, my Paper Crafting with Jeannie's group later as well, the dimensions. But 10 inches by 12 inches, score it at 2 inches on each side. That's not so important now as it is with the lid, but, and then you're going to score 5 inches on each side. So 5 inches, flip it, and score at 5 inches. The other thing you can do is do some addition and realize that that's 2 inches less, so you do it at 5 inches and 7 inches, because 12 inches minus 5 inches is 7 inches. I'm not getting into the math, I'm just, maybe the easiest thing to do is score it at 2 inches. Flip it, score it at 2 inches. Landscape, score it at 5 inches, flip it, score it at 5 inches. Okay, so we've got our box ready to go. And what I'm going to do is peel this very quickly. And we're going to put this together like that, put that together like that. Now, I've got this piece, Sometimes when I'm on camera, it doesn't come out so easy, but anyway, this is that. I could put a tiny dab more of glue so that this card box is completely done when I'm done. That's a little bit up. Okay, so 10 inches by 12 inches, score at 2 inches and at 5 inches. Now, we're going to do the lid. Now, when Angie did her thing, she said that she wanted it 4 1/8 inches by 8 inches. I'm going to have you, instead of doing it 4 1/8 by 8 inches, I'm going to do 4 1/8 by 8 1/8. And the reason for that is because if you see this is on here. It fits nicely side to side, but see how it kind of bows a little bit because it's so narrow on the 8-inch side. So do 8 1/8, and what you're going to do, so 4 1/8 by 8 1/8, you're going to score it at 1 inch on each side. Now that is, like I said, where it's important. If you score it at 1 inch, turn it, score it at 1 inch, score it at 1 inch, because if you're doing 4 1/8, it's not, don't just subtract, just don't think that it's, I don't know. Anyway, make sure that you do that. Okay, so I just did this with double stick tape, and all I did, I'm just going to show you very quickly because this needs to be put together a little bit better, but I just wanted to put it so you could see it. Put some double stick tape here. So you're cutting on the tabs on the long side, on the short side, you're cutting on the tabs, I should say, and make sure you miter them a little bit. Take out a little bit of a triangle, a chunk of triangle, so that it's not so bulky there. And then what I'm going to do is this with Terran tape, eventually, we'll put that together like that. And there you go. Voila. And then all I did was decorate my box. So I have my petal pink ribbon. I love this ribbon. It ties so nicely around it. Of course, it makes it better if you do it more in the center like that. Okay, so I got my little box ready to go, and I just did from the ridiculously awesome stamp set, which I believe is Rhonda's stamp set. I stamped that in Melon Mambo. So this is, like I said, the artistic paper instead of this, because I wanted bigger pieces. But certainly you could match the paper to your thing, and I would make your own box. Make a fun box and decorate it up. The 12 by 12 paper, like I said, is easier to use, but you certainly don't need, it's like 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. So you certainly don't need to have 12 by 12 paper, but you're going to end up using a lot of it, a lot more of it if you do it with the 6 by 6. So there we've got our cardstock. Let's put our cards in here. We're going to put our envelopes in here. And that is ready to go to share with somebody, or even just to have on display in your beautiful stamp room. So thank you so much for joining me. If you have questions, leave me comments. I can repeat it again when I put the description up, and in my Paper Crafting with Jeannie's group, I will include the dimensions. But if you stop it here, it's Angie Judah's thing, 8 by 4 1/8, but I said do it 8 1/8 by 4 1/8. Score it at 1 inches on 4 sides. So anyway, let me flip you back. Back we go. Thank you so much for watching me today. I'm sorry that I didn't come at my usual Tuesday night time. I had so much fun though, and next week is the beginning of the Christmas catalog. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do a Christmas stamp set. It's still summer. I think that I may still concentrate on the bundles. I'm thinking the nothing better than stamp set bundle, because nothing better than chocolate, nothing better than coffee. That's my kind of thing. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember to share, and don't forget to place your $50 orders before the end of the month to get your $5 coupon that you can use in August. Bye.